I'm going to give you my thoughts on Kendrick Lamar halftime performance. There's been much talk about it since the Super Bowl has happened, and from the looks of it, you either love it or you hate it. Some criticism is legit, and others, it's just pure hatred.
The vast overwhelming majority of people in this country and around the world hated the show.
Myself, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm a Kendrick fan, but most importantly, I'm a hip-hop fan. So my take on this performance is a little more nuanced, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's start off with a brief history of the Super Bowl halftime performances. In 1992, In Living Color had their show go head-to-head with the Super Bowl halftime. The show successfully brought in millions of viewers. The next year, the Super Bowl would premiere the version of the halftime show that we know today. They started with the Big Bang, with no other than Michael Jackson. Contrary to popular belief, the halftime performances have been majority African American, either headlining or guest performers. There's only been a handful of white acts. So here comes the first criticism of Kendrick Lamar halftime performance. A good vocal group that do not like this performance come from the right side of things politically.
Let's not just have a rapper, they said. Let's have an obscure rapper that nobody's ever heard of. Ooh, the woke Olympics happening at the NFL.
They're calling the performance woke. They're calling the performance D.E.I. and all the other buzzwords you can think of. They're calling Kendrick Lamar an unknown artist. They're saying he's performing songs that no one never heard of. And I can see where somebody might say that. But the counterpoint to that is there have been plenty artists who performed on the Super Bowl who had a particular demographic it catered to that the other demographics did not know of.
Oh my God, that's Denzel Washington. Hey, I've got jeans like that.
I think the main thing was if it was a good performance and if it was entertaining. Okay, now we got that out the way, I'm gonna get into my point of view of the Super Bowl. I liked it. I like what Kendrick was going for, and personally, I think he was in a lose-lose situation. Like, if he performed the hits, there will still be a good group of people who would be like, I don't know these songs. He could have performed with Taylor Swift, Bad Blood, but Taylor Swift got booed at that Super Bowl. He could have performed Love with Rihanna. He could have performed with the Magic Dragon, but he was in a lose-lose situation. He could have played the hits, but I think he just came out with an album. He's going on tour, so it's in his best interest, especially if he's not getting paid by the Super Bowl, to promote the album that he's touring with. Also, I would like to add that it's hard to rap that many words and people to catch on. You typically want simpler songs when you perform for like a big group of people. You know, Kanye West has a infamous quote in his song Big Brother, Stadium Music. You know, he even has quotes where he said he made songs that he can perform in stadiums. And stadium music is anthems, something that people can chant. We are the champions, no time for losers, because we are the champions. That's very easy to chant and very easy to say, go shorty, it's your birthday, we gonna party like it's your birthday. We don't give a damn because it's your birthday. It's such a simple thing. But when you're Kendrick and you're packing in all these syllables and words and you have to blank out a lot of the cuss words and you're using a lot of lingo that most people don't understand. And I like that he took a big risk like that, you know. I will say inadvertently, the only person who I think can just straight up rap words and people will go crazy for in the Super Bowl is Eminem. I know they will love if he rap God in the Super Bowl, and there's so many words and you can barely understand or pick up on it, but I think enough people know that song where they can, you know, kind of follow along. But I think there's a good generation gap with that too. So I'm going to wrap this up. In closing, I think Kendrick Lamar accomplished the mission. He got a lot of views, and that could be kind of padding the stacks because Tubi had the Super Bowl, so a lot of people watched it who typically wouldn't watch it because it was more accessible. But nevertheless, he got the most views, right? It was also a good Super Bowl game because people wanted to see the Chiefs lose. But you have somebody like Maul who's just straight up hating and said they lost viewership. And he said that before he even had the data. So again, there's a good group of people who just hate Kendrick and they dislike him. Whether they dislike what he stands for or they like who they like, and because who they like is not there, Kendrick is just going to get that brunt of the hate.
Just mid! It was mid! It was mid! It was nothing spectacular! Kendrick fans were just glazing him! Drake's had enough!
Chill.
So I respect that he did this. Again, going back to my earlier point, to rap and do all that stuff, it takes great breath control, which he did pretty nicely. And he got off his raps better at the pop out because he was able to stand in one spot and focus on enunciating and getting off the raps. But nevertheless, he did a great job. I think that's me being nitpicky.